Hi there, Pisces, and welcome to your love reading for the month of September. So, basically, I'm going to start off with like this dark wood tarot because I left off with your shadow dreams, or not really shadow. Oh, I guess you could say a lot of shadow exists in the dream world, but regardless of that, there's going to be this dark wood reading for you. Um, so we're going to start with that. And let's see. We're at the readings in here. So, okay, so here's the deadly problem spread, okay? So basically, this is going to give us the situation, the deadly problem, and the solution, okay? All right, so let's take a look here at the situation. So we've kind of got a little bit of a Seven of Swords situation happening for you, Pisces, okay? You can see the wolf approaching, and, um, okay, so this is kind of like a Red Riding Hood sort of style outfit. You got the red cape on. So this woman here holding these swords, I don't think she is afraid of this wolf, but I don't think she wants to have to deal with it either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something that is there, that's on the path. And her path is like she's trying to avoid the wolf, and she's holding onto these swords very closely. So I think we should take a look here at this Seven of Swords and see what this is about. Let's see what the Seven of Swords is about. Um, so this is Red Hood in the Wood. A woman holds 7 swords. She wears a shredded gown and a red hood while her dainty legs and bare feet are exposed. A menacing wolf creeps down the path in search of her, while a pair of eyes looks out of the tree above. The path is scattered with crunchy leaves. The white of her dress implies purity, while the red hood is a sexual symbol implying passion and fervor. The combination invokes the loss of virginity and chastity. Wolves and other monstrous creatures often have been used to express dangerous masculinity. This is a card about making a clean getaway. It is the ability to evade detection and to escape unscathed. It reflects the need to take serious action. The Seven of Swords contains the mystical luck of number 7. It is outwitting danger and sneaking away. The path remains. The woman and the wolf choose it consciously or subconsciously. These two will rendezvous in the near future. It is their destiny. Okay? Now, the meaning here is editing carefully, taking only what is needed, escape and intrigue, evading what seeks to devour you, knowing who your enemy is, whether it is yourself or another person or situation, or a combination of both. Identifying the heart of the matter so it can be dealt and with swiftly. Cleverness in all ways. Luck. Shadow. What are you hiding from? True avoidance of a person, place, or thing is indifference. The conscious desire to avoid something usually stems from desire. Our defenses emerge when we discover what we want, then realize we could lose it. The stakes are high. Are you ready to embrace your desire? Can you face what you've been running away from? Give yourself the advantage by setting up the game rules, facing your opponent honestly, and moving from your heart. Okay, so I think basically, the situation here is you need to um, let this person know how you feel about them. Now, the deadly problem, okay, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, this is your deadly problem here. So let's take a look here at this Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles. Threshold, okay? A door of life opens inside an ancient tree. This is the tree of creation, the oldest tree in the wood. Gnarled roots spread like hair beneath the tree. The dark wood is infinite. Its paths and doorways lead into ever-evolving functuity, richness of possibility and growth. The tree invites us to leave our material senses and concerns to move deeper into the experience of reality. The tree leads us out of the material realm of pentacles that have fully manifested to their ultimate destiny. The cycle is complete. Undiscovered suits, multiple dimensions, and wild possibilities await. Everything you have ever experienced is just a hint of what is to come. Animals gather at the tree, cultivating like the pentacles. The crows reflect the supernatural ability of bilocation, being in two places at once. Spiders weave the web of fate inside the tree. A mama cat and her kittens reflect generations of feline mystery. Bats reflect initiation and shamanic death. The senses are how we find ourselves in this world. They are also how we leave it behind. The meaning, the cultivation of a project, the gathering of generations, family, and groups of people, the end of a cycle leading to unexpected new places. A door opens, opportunity beckons, seeing through the trick of the material world, embracing the interconnectivity of all things. What price do we pay when a door opens for us, yet we decide we are unworthy to enter? Animals, trees, and flowers evolve without second guessing of themselves. Allow internal resistance to dissipate. Say yes to what appears before you. And yeah, I mean that doesn't like both these cards don't seem like the situation doesn't seem as problematic as you would think it is, because I think the situation is that you do want to show this person that you care about them and that you love them, but at the same time you also are dealing with like a generational like family tree of cycles. And I think what you've done here is you have broken a cycle where, you know, you put one thing ahead of the other. And I think that the female cat with her kittens is an indication that it's a something to do with the women in your family, um, that they don't feel worthy enough to go forward with their plans, or they don't feel worthy enough to pursue something that they know needs to be pursued. And if this is like a love interest for you, like there could be women in your family generationally that have fallen for men and trusted men and then found themselves in a situation where they couldn't maybe trust these men anymore. And I think for you, it's like a little bit of both. It's like you want to have your heart open to love and receiving love in a romantic way and having a relationship with a man, but there could be toxic masculine energies that are in their cycle, that are in their family tree that they have to work through as well. And I feel like this is a very eye-opening experience for you both, because um, you know you can't let certain negative toxic cycles continue, but you also want to be open to starting new cycles, cycles of rebirth, cycles of happiness, cycles of positivity, and your family growing and like being being in a good positive place versus a very negative place. So the solution here is the devil. Interesting. The devil is the solution. Okay, so that's an interesting solution to this. All right, but you can see here this page of swords is very small. Kind of like a David and Goliath sort of energy here, is like not afraid at all of this big red monstrous devil. Okay, so I don't think you're afraid either. Okay, Pisces. So let's take a look here at this devil card. The devil is the archetype of the shadow. Make fear your friend and turn obstacles into allies. The labyrinth awaits, says Temperance, as she points behind the witch to a gaping opening in a massive wooded maze leading into corridors of darkness. The witch takes a deep breath, knowing she must enter. The only way out of the wood is to move through each experience, each lesson, Perhaps she was dreaming. Did it matter? She turns back to see Temperance has vanished. The witch takes a deep breath and enters the corridor of knotted trees. Your shadow becomes an ally when embraced. Fear is never an effort to avoid. Avoidance equals indifference. Think of how it feels to be shunned or find out someone just doesn't care. Fear is realizing the value of a thing. The thought of losing such a thing becomes more terrifying than actually having it. Fears point us to what or to where we want to go. This is why challenge cards are at the heart of a tarot spread and the defining moment of any story. The shadow is every fear, terror, talent, desire, wish, and expression, buried within the wells of the subconscious. The devil is a mythological creature springing from the human ego. The ego is the false construction of our personality, the idea of who we think we are. It is entirely self created. We need not destroy our ego, we simply need to recognize it for what it is and no longer be controlled by it. Labyrinth patterns appear across the natural spectrum in galaxies, seashells, and even snails. We enter mental labyrinths when dealing with loss, confusion, darkness, and fear. Walk the maze to discover your shadow because he conceals himself well. Tricks and illusions would have us think our ego is ready to wage battle with him. What do you fear? Who are you vilifying? What makes you angry and upset? What, asks the devil, do you want more than anything? The devil stands as the terrifying other and as a cultural scapegoat. The devil wants to keep you enslaved, angry, and scared because this is where he draws his power. He thrives on addiction, negative energy, and extreme control. The devil is called the dweller on the threshold because once he is slayed and integrated, infinite possibilities appear. Slay the dweller to set yourself free, just as the Page of Swords is about to do. Okay, and that's what you're doing here is like you're setting yourself free from these cycles because I think in your family there was a lot of um, like toxic energies. There was a lot of cycles where there was addiction probably in your family line somewhere, um, and there could have been other things as well, like the negative energy and the extreme control. I feel like there was a combination, if not all three of these things, in the love aspect of your lineage, Pisces. Okay, there was a lot of people with addiction problems. There was a lot of people with negative energy. There was a lot of people with control issues, and you are the one in your family that has to break all of those cycles and break all of those patterns, and it's up to you to do that, and if you're partnered with somebody it's up to them to do that as well. Okay, but mostly Pisces, you are the one who's breaking all of that here, all those cycles and all that negative energy and all that addiction problems and all those negative cycles and control, extreme control. And, you know, if you've seen other women, your mom, your grandma, your great grandma, aunts, whatever, that women that have come before you who have been partnered with people who are struggling with addiction or people who are struggling to, like, they're just always a negative person to be around, or there's somebody who is extreme control person. Like, that's you know, 1 out of 2 is still just as bad as as anything, because it's such a huge thing. It's like when you're living with somebody who's always negative, when you're living with somebody who's always trying to control you, when you're living with somebody who's addicted to different substances, or there's a lot of different things people can get addicted to. But the thing is like you are breaking those chains, you are breaking those cycles, and that's very important for you to remember. Don't lose sight of that, because I feel like for you, it's like it does weigh heavy on your heart. It does weigh heavy on your chest. Like it adds a certain pressure, I feel like, to you, because you're like, oh my gosh, like not again. Like, why do I have to be the one, why am I being the one to call to action here? But the thing is, Pisces, is like, take your time with it. Like, nobody expects you to like solve and break all the terrible cycles that your ancestors that came before you. Like, that's not on you. They could have broken their own cycles if they wanted to, and they chose not to, or they did it in a way that might have not been as beneficial as it seemed at the moment. But it all ended up happening for a reason. And what's happening to you right now, I feel like, is you're being called up to speak up and do something about your life so that you can have the love life that you desire and the romantic life that you desire. Okay. Now, speaking of romance, we're going to call in some romantic tarot cards here. We got some romantic spirit guides, energies here. It's all not, you know, shadow work and, breaking of family curses and all that. It's some of it, we can have some romance in there as well that's coming out. Okay. So I'm going to take a look here and call in the love angels, the love spirit guides, all right, that are watching over you and trying to help you here. Okay, we've got this man on a bridge, and he's throwing flowers down here to the swine. I said swine, but I meant swans. Pearls, maybe I'm thinking of like throwing pearls at swine, right? That's a saying, is like people who are not worthy or don't understand something's value or worth. So maybe somebody didn't know your value or your worth here. Okay, this man could also be rejected because he, thought buying you flowers was going to like solve everything in a day or something like that. That's not exactly what's, transpiring. I'm getting like, this is right with the Seven of Swords. This could be a toxic masculine energy. Swans are like, supposed to be like a romantic bird. You see them in like movies as like a romantic symbol, but they also can be a very like violent tempered or agitated, like especially if you're in their like zone, if they're here in their environment and they don't want you in their environment. um okay, yep, we have here this I think this is the Hermit card here. This guy with his lantern. Okay, he's got a picture of a woman on his desk. Okay, he's holding up a lantern over these books and stuff. He's probably thinking about this woman. The open drawer. I feel like this man is he's away at sea. There's an ocean, there's like a wave crashing. So he's probably on a ship. He's probably away from home and he's trying to travel back to his love interest. Okay, somebody is trying to find their way back to you. Okay, Pisces, I feel like you are their light, you are their hope, you are the reason why they you know breathe. You're their everything. Okay, you bring them out of the darkness here, I feel like. And that's going here with the Ten of Pentacles. That's the thing about family trees, is like once you get married, it's like you start growing your own tree with this new person or your own branch, right? But like you basically do start, I guess, in a way, your like own united tree. Like the branches entangle, like they come from a different tree, you come from a different tree, and then you create your own tree and you create your own branches, and you start branching off, you start having children, they start having children, and it's a whole thing, it's a whole network here. Okay, but things deep within the roots of every tree, you know there are the bad seeds and there are the good seeds, and you want to try and make sure that things are growing and things are blossoming and things are looking up and more positive. um, can be easier said than done when you're breaking free from something, but it still is a process. Oh, look at this. Look, once you deal with this like devil energy, they're like you're gonna get this beautiful like lovers. I think this is supposed to be the lovers card. Your gondola ride, right? A kiss on the CN or in the water here. Okay, look, she's in a passionate kiss and she's losing her hat in the water. Okay, like it's a very romantic, passionate relationship. Okay, but you guys still, I feel like, have to work through some stuff and break free from any chains that were hindering your relationship, hindering you both from growing and living your life and your best life. And I feel like you guys can do that, and you can get there to more loving romantic times with each other. um you know um day nights and stuff like that. But again, it's a process, so it doesn't happen just overnight. We're just starting the month of September. So let's see, Pisces. Let's wait and see what happens. But I just don't give up on this connection that you have with someone where you really want to um, like grow and prosper, like as individuals, but also with each other. And it's just you guys are going through a little bit of a rough time right now because of everything that's transpired for the month of August. But I think things are going to be turning around and looking up and looking positive very, very soon. So stay tuned for more in the coming weeks, Pisces. Love and light always. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.